It's an awesome day to you, our lovely and smart real estate investors, wherever you're watching us across the world. I'm super delighted to welcome you to another insightful, educative, and of course, exclusive section of Property Matters here on YouTube. My name is Adejare. I'm a real estate investment specialist here in the beautiful city of Lagos, Nigeria. For everybody that will subscribe, I want to say a very big thank you to you. And for those who will still subscribe after watching this particular guide, I want to say a very big thank you to you too. A Property Matter is a real estate YouTube talk show where we expose you to the realities of real estate investment. We talk about some of the important things you need to know. And today, I'm going to be talking about another important thing that you should be looking at whenever you want to invest. Now, Property Matter is either for a real estate, someone who is investing in the Lagos real estate market, or for someone who has also been investing for a very long time. We share guides, we share tips, we share important information. More importantly, the one that will help you not to invest in a wrong real estate investment. So do well to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you immediately after this short commercial. Don't go nowhere. All right, you're welcome back. I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that have subscribed, and for those who have been following us from day one. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you for staying tuned. So on today's episode of Property Matters, I'm going to be talking about who you should invest with. So I'm going to be stating out the basic conditions that you should state clearly before you invest with a real estate in a developer, whether it's a new company or it's an old company. And the reason for this episode basically is due to the fact that a whole lot of real estate investors does not understand that a lot of things have happened in Nigeria. A lot of stories, unpleasant stories have happened. People have unpleasant, experiences, and we are here to ensure that such experiences does not repeat itself again. And one of the easiest way we can best, help you achieve that is to, articulate and of course express some important things that you should put into consideration whenever you're buying properties in Lagos, Nigeria. So who should you invest with? With the story of people have been swindled, people have been cheated, people have not gotten the value, okay, for the property they bought. People's hope have been dashed. And this seems to be the norm in our industry. And in several scenarios, when you are trying to help, a whole lot of effort in trying to see if some of these unpleasant circumstances can be redeemed. In the process of doing that, most of them ended up in futility. And I said it before, but one of the things and the way the Nigerian society is structured is a case of who you know and the connections you have. And this explains the reason why many people have gotten away with it, despite the fact that people they have mismanaged the funds people have put into their care. So, who should you invest with? Now, regardless of this, does this simply mean that I should let go of the real estate industry? Does this mean that I should face other region, or for some of us abroad, should I probably put my investment abroad? Well, this obviously should not discourage you whatsoever, okay, from investing in Lagos. Regardless of what might have happened to you or what you're currently facing, there are still a whole lot of people, okay, who have done real estate investment and they've done it rightly, and a lot of people are reaping their return on investment. So these are clear indicators that you can still do your real estate investment well, provided the fact that you're going to follow these laid down rules. So what should be your conditions for investing? The very first thing you should do basically is that you should invest with a brand that have shown proven and regular plots or house allocations. Now, when I talk about proven records, I'm not talking about those who allocate once in 2 years or maybe three in a year. No, I'm talking about working with real estate development, okay, or real estate development company that have accurate evidences and accurate, records of regular allocations. Now, the reason why you should do this basically is due to the fact that a whole lot of people are not doing real estate development the way it should be done. Thank God for Lagos State government who have introduced LASRERA. Now, LASRERA, okay, is a real estate, okay, agency constituted by the Lagos State government. And what LASRERA has done over time is that they've been able to put in some measures of regulations. I'm going to be playing a video. Okay, I can't play the video because of YouTube rules. I don't want my video to be flagged for copyright. But I'm going to be sharing a story of a real estate investor that got duped. This man bought a property and it was not allocated. He reported the case, okay, to LASRERA. He sent them a mail. They investigated, the case. And what has happened is that the company has refunded the investors' money. So kudos to the Lagos State government for that. And then we hope that other real estate development companies who are guilty of no allocations will be put to book. So then the second thing you also want to do is that you also want to invest with a developer that has a structure. When we talk about structure, I'm talking about real estate companies that have stood the test of time. Do not invest with a real estate developer that EFCC will be looking for. As I'm talking to you right now, there are some real estate developer that are under US EFCC's that's Economic and Financial Crime lists. I'm talking to you. Two of them, some two real estate developers have been declared wanted. Now, when we talk about working with structure, sometimes it's very good for a real estate investor to investigate the company they are buying properties from. Some of these guys don't have a structure that can help them stand the test of time. Many of them are not setting up structures that will make them relevant in the next 10, 15, 20 years. Many of them are operating this real estate company as a one-man business, and that is why it is very easier and convenient for some of them to misappropriate funds that are supposed to be put into properties people have bought. But in a situation whereby the structure of a company is well laid, where we have board, we have trustees, where real estate company is being regulated and is being run the way it should, when you invest with such development companies, you won't have any issues, or you won't even fear that those companies or the real estate developer may liquidate. The structures that most real estate companies are put in place basically will help them stand the test of 15, 20, 30 years. Because when you are buying real estate, when you are buying properties, what you are buying is not the land. I've said it before. It's not the land, it's not the location. What you are buying as a real estate investor is the brand. So if you prioritize affordability over the brand, when stories that touches the heart start happening, who are you going to hold responsible? I've said it before and I've said it again. Most of these development companies have not set up a structures that will even outlive them. So you want to look at this basically and pay attention to a brand that has stood the test of time and that still have, the assurance of existing for a very long time. So as a real estate investor, it is very wrong, okay, from you to buy because of price. If you prioritize cheapness over value or over well-defined and well-articulated company structures, you will have yourselves to blame. A lot of people are going to court today. A lot of real estate companies are folded up. A lot of developers are no longer in the country. And the reason why we're having these problems and issues, a lot of people have bought properties, they bought houses 10, 5 years, they've not been allocated. A lot of people are shouting over social media, I've bought this land from these people, I've bought this house from these people, they're not saying anything about allocation, they're not giving me development plan, they're not even showing me social, because you have bought a company that is not accountable. You have bought a property from a company that does not have a structure. Okay, so these are some of the things. So you want to look at the structure. You want to look at that. So it is, if you prioritize cheapness over structure, you get yourself to blame if they fail to deliver. Then the next thing you also want to do basically is that you want to buy. This is majorly okay for investors who are buying houses. If you are buying estates, like maybe 2-bedroom apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, 4-bedroom apartment. There was a scenario of a house, a distressed house, okay, that was situated in an estate, in Thomas Estate. Okay, I don't mention names. And of course, this was an estate that was sold, I think, around 2 to 3 years ago. And this particular investor wanted to sell the house. On the day, I had to inspect, this property for this particular real estate investors in the diaspora. On the day I inspected the house, the POP of the kitchen almost fell on my head. It's funny, but not so funny. I was very fortunate that those heavy stones, POP, did not have. Now, why is that? A whole lot of structures, apartments, duplexes are badly maintained. Most of these guys have not put in the adequate maintenance policies and structures that will ensure the longevity of the apartment or the duplexes or the terraces they have sold to you. A whole lot of people today are biting their fingers because they bought property from a developer that does not have a long-term development plan. So when you look at this, you also want to look at that. You want to ensure, okay, that the real estate developer is not somebody that will sell properties and in 2 to 3 years, there is no proper maintenance policies. The way it should be done basically is that if you have bought a property, whether it's an estate, you bought a house, apartment, terraces, condos, duplexes, depending on what you're buying, it is very necessary for the developer to have a maintenance department that will attend to you, because once those houses have been sold, there will still be need for some little repairs. So when you're buying a property, you want to ensure that the developer is not just buying, is not just selling and hands it off. Because the moment the guy sells or the company sells and hands off, you really want to do maintenance. Some of the materials used in building these things are not quality materials. So you get to spend more than what you have used in acquiring those properties. By the time you begin to do maintenance of the lighting, you begin to do maintenance of the plumbing, you need to do maintenance of the furnitures, you need to do, in fact, there was a house that, someone bought. Let me go into this. Okay, I'm online. Okay, I don't want to be arrested. Okay, a lot of people are having ugly experiences from the houses they bought, and this is because of the fact that they didn't engage thorough professional. They only dealt with some realtors that just want to sell and move, but they don't know that whenever it comes to real estate, you want to buy from somebody that will be available to attend if there are needs. If there are needs for maintenance, if there are needs for things to be done, if there are needs for facilities that have been put in place to be trained, you even want to. The other people that are even buying from the developer will not even finding out what is the plan for drainage, and in case the rainy season approaches. A lot of places in Lagos are in mess once they rain. Once it rains heavily, a lot of places are in mess. So when you're buying real estate, more importantly, those are buying a residential apartment, whether it's apartment or duplexes, you want to buy from a developer that has a strong maintenance team that will respond. Because the truth is, what they show you in those videos, what they show you in those things, those houses will still have issues in the future. Is it that the roof is leaking or the plumbing fittings are not properly done? Okay, there was a house I went to see in Chogutelo, and when this dear real estate investor bought, of course she didn't buy from me, I need to make this assumption. So she was having some issues, so I had to call some of my maintenance thing for some of my team members, and the plumber said, what the woman complained basically is that water was coming out from our visitor's toilet. Whenever they flush, okay, found out that water was coming out, and once this water keeps coming out, it moves to the sitting room. And sometimes once it rains, let me tell you the kind of house they are building in some places in Lagos. Once it rains, rain brings out some of the waters from the toilets, the physics, the urine, all move into the dining table, making the house a hell of an experience. So when our plumbing team got there and they did some derivation, they found out that the plumbing work was badly done. You won't see this when you are buying. It is when you move in, you begin to see some of the defects and some of the errors that were done when those houses were built. So you want to buy from a developer that will be available to respond. And this still boils down to structure. This point 3 leads also point 2. Buy from a developer that has a structure. A lot of people are buying because it's cheap. It's okay. I pray you don't have a problem. So the next thing you also want to look at basically is that when you are also investing, and of course you are doing a regular due diligence. Now we're talking about due diligence. I've said this before. Now, if you're buying a landed property, you want to collect the relevant documents. You want to work with the surveyor. You also want to work with the town planner that will help you ascertain if the property you are buying does not fall into either present or future project. A lot of people saw what happened at Ikota, where structures were pulled down. A lot of people are not talking about what is coming to Orchid and what is coming to some places in Ajah. Now, what is happening basically is that a lot of people build structures without having a thorough knowledge of the projects that are coming to that location. And this is where the job of a town planner comes in. Now, when you're buying a property, you want to ensure, okay, that you have checked the relevant documents. You have ascertained if there is not going to be a drainage, if there's not going to be a pipeline. A lot of people have bought property in Ekpe. What they bought is where Dangote pipeline passes. You know, when we go out for due diligence, the kind of discovery we make and the kind of things that happens, they are not funny, but when I see people make mistakes based on the fact that they are not asking the relevant question, it's sad. So you want to check. Now the thing is that the reason why you have to check, the reason why you have to ascertain is that when they are showing you land, it is very hard for you to know where there is pipeline. It is very hard for you to know where drainage will pass. It is very hard because the land is just like an empty land, or the apartment that have been built looks wonderful, looks very, very catchy and beautiful. You fall for the aesthetics. You fall for those beautiful land. You buy because it is dry. You buy because it is facing the road. Now, what the town planner does basically is that he ascertains where there will be drainage. He ascertains where there will be bridge. He ascertains where there will be road. He ascertains if the developer is eating into a road. Now, these are some of the things we do. But all of a sudden, I only do it for people that are buying real estate through us. Now, the stress, the expenses will not help us do it for free. I'm not saying you should contact me to do. I only do it if you're buying property through King's Court. But if you're buying from another developer or you're buying from another agent, you can ask them to do this for you. Some of my colleagues have started doing this after I started creating this. After some of my guys in the industry have started creating this awareness, they started doing it only for the fact that most don't. So you want to do this. Now, this will help you avoid errors that will cost you in the future. So these are some of those things. Then the last and the final thing is that you want to invest with a developer, okay, that will take full possession. The reason why we're having a lot of land disputes today, the reason why we have a lot of court cases resulting from land, Baba Lagbaja sold to Mrs. D. Mrs. D has refused to take the land, and some people of those only assume that the woman is dead and they can sell. Is that when we talk about full possession, now the way the Lagos State markets or the Lagos State real estate laws function, I'll say this today and I'll be as simple as possible. It is good for a developer to fence the land. It is good for the developer to put gates. It is good for the developer to partition each plot, which I know most people don't. More important, those selling properties that are below 3 million. If you are expecting that, you're just wasting your time. But what actually helps you, or what actually gives you, okay, the confidence that the developer is taking for possession is when they perfect the title. So there is no full possession if there is no clear indicator showing that that land has been properly bought and government is aware. So these are some of those things that you need to understand when you're buying properties. See, there are a lot of drama in Lagos. There are a lot of unforeseen circumstances. But most of these errors that a lot of people are making are avoidable errors. And because of the fact that a lot of people have not been adequately informed that these are some of those things you need to do, a lot of people are still falling victims. So this is where I'm going to draw today's episode of Property Matters. I hope you found value. If you have, see the way I'm sweating. Subscribe to this channel. Now, let me say this. For verification, checking all the necessary things is only done for those who are buying real estate through us. A lot of people say, I bought from somebody else. How much should I pay you? Don't worry, don't pay me. I will only do it for you if you're buying through us. But if you're bought from someone, of course, like I said, we've created a whole lot of awareness. So some professional real estate practitioners are aware of some of these things. So if they really care about you, if they really care about your investment, if they really care about the funds you are putting into the investment, they should do the needful. So this is what I'm going to do to this episode of Property Matters. See you in my next video. Please subscribe. Appreciate this sweat by subscribing. And of course, do real estate through us. See you in my next video. God bless you. Bye for now.